Wiratu some of the footage of events in Mektila.
A Muslim man is being beaten. You see? He's being beaten by these men here. And then look, this man looks like a monk. A monk taking part in the beating. But when you see this, do you not think that what you are preaching may be contributing to tensions erupting like this?
Tucked away in a back room of the monastery is Wiratu's communication centre. The rise of social media has given his views and preachings access to a much wider audience. Here, Wiratu's media team upload his sermons to YouTube and constantly update his Facebook page. It looks high-tech, but the way it works is in fact rather old-fashioned. Wiratu writes his updates by hand and then passes them over for the team to type in. Each morning, across Myanmar, before the sun rises, a ritual as old as Buddhism itself quietly unfolds. The giving and receiving of alms is a moment of connection between the monks and the people. Sustenance for the monks, and for the people, a chance to gain merit and the hope that they will be rewarded in later life. In 2007, this most fundamental of Buddhist rites suddenly became the focal point for what's become known as the Saffron Revolution. Demonstrations over price rises escalated into broader anti-government protests. For days, monks marched through Myanmar's cities and towns, defiantly refusing the arms offered by the military. The world hailed their brave resistance. Then a brutal crackdown put the regime's thuggish nature once again on show. Kailas Sa was one of the leaders of the Saffron Revolution. He showed me his prison papers, which state that he was sentenced to 39 years in jail. Then, last January, after 6 years of torture and mistreatment, he was released in the same prisoner amnesty that freed Wiratu.
Are you surprised that Wiratu is allowed to continue preaching the way he is and that nobody among the Buddhist monks or from the government are stopping him?
In fact, Myanmar's government not only permits Wiratu to preach, they actively endorse him. In June, President Thein Sein took the unusual step of issuing a press release, supporting Wiratu and the 969 movement, and calling him a son of Buddha.
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar.
Many of the Muslims in central Myanmar are from families who've been in the country for hundreds of years. They include descendants of traders, sailors and workers brought here during the British colonial period, who intermarried and adopted local traditions. Unlike the Rohingya Muslims in western Myanmar, the people here are considered to be Burmese citizens. But this has not meant equality. After prayers, I talked to Sma Nyi Nyi. His family has lived in Myanmar for generations, and he's a senior member of Mandalay's biggest mosque.
In Manly, the physical violence is not started yet, but everybody is worrying. We worry about the trouble would took place at any time. So you can say that we are tortured mentally since the trouble violence broke out at Rakhine, and after that Meitila.
Do you think the majority of Buddhists are anti-Muslim?
No, I don't think so. I believe that majority of the Buddhists, they never hate Muslims, but the trouble is they daren't speak out their opinion.
Why is this violence happening now?
Now, everybody is talking about the violence of the Buddhists and Muslims. Somebody is controlling behind it. He's a smart man, because all the things, everybody, they can divert the attention of the public entirely.
So you're saying the government is letting Wiratu 969 movement get on with it?
I don't want to accuse the government, but some of the higher authority, I don't want to accuse, because I want to speak to you frankly, it is a little dangerous to accuse the government, so I don't want to accuse.
The charismatic standard bearer of the 969 movement is a frequent flyer. Top of his agenda this week is a vital meeting with fellow monks in Myanmar's biggest city, Yangon. Western journalists have labelled Wiratu the Burmese Bin Laden, and Time magazine has called him the face of Buddhist terror.
Online media kala paini da bo no kala chokkai Muslim ni chokkai na da ro tija da bo yaudan ni ma le toro mya mya twai la da bo no yaudan media ri daw twai la da ho da jaw mo lo di anaw ka ba udin ko athin lwe ni da ha di Muslim media ri lwan mo mu jaw lo udin yu sa da.
More than 1,000 monks have come to this meeting from across the country. There's little doubt who's the star of the show, or that he enjoys the attention. They're here to discuss Wiratu and the 969 movement's most controversial proposal yet. A new law aimed at preventing Muslim men marrying Buddhist women. It's been widely criticised as both sexist and racist. To the horror of the Muslim community, a petition supporting the proposed law has already gathered more than 2 million signatures. The key moment in the meeting came when Sitagu, one of Myanmar's richest and most powerful monks, took the floor. Through carefully considered parables, it was clear that this most respected of monks shared many of Wiratu's views. Buddhism is not organised on democratic principles, and most of those present were not asked their opinion. Shortly after the meeting closed, a panel of senior monks announced that the marriage law would be recommended to Myanmar's parliament. Wiratu had got the backing he wanted.
I first started work on this film, I thought I'd discover that Wiratu is a fringe figure here. But it's clear from everyone I've spoken to and talked to that he's much more than that. He has the backing of many, if not most, of the monks. The president has very publicly backed him. And despite his hateful and intolerant message, a significant part of Myanmar's Burmese Buddhist population seem to be supporting him too. Myanmar is changing. There's an excitement in the air and a feeling that for many things are at last moving in the right direction. This is a country on a journey, but the destination is as yet unclear. It's by no means certain that the people of Myanmar, having endured decades of dictatorship, will all share equally in the benefits of the country's newfound freedom. How Myanmar treats its minorities could well be the defining question of this new and more democratic era.